Hello, welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to midday news on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Sadia Yakubu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channels 276. And now the news in details. The House of Representatives has passed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill to allow for electronic and transmission of election results. But the emergency plenary for which the House reconvened to rescind its earlier decision for only electronic transmission descended into chaos as aggrieved members staged a walkout. National Assembly correspondent Aniti Patrick reports.
The drama unfolded when Senator Enaya Abaribe demanded a division on Clause 60, sparking intense debate among lawmakers. Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibri, argued that revisiting...
In the past few weeks, the Electoral Act Amendment Bill has been in the news, forcing the two chambers of the National Assembly into emergency sittings. As the House reconvened, the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, appreciated members' sacrifice.
It's very important that we sacrifice this morning to come and attend to those important issues. The issues that will define the elections of 2027 and give clear vision as to what is expected to be done.
But as the motion for the rescission was moved and seconded, the House descended into chaos as some lawmakers kicked. This forced the Speaker to call for a closed-door session. After about 2 hours behind closed doors, aggrieved members insisted on clause-by-clause consideration of the 156 clauses of the bill, leading to another rowdy session. Some of the members moved to amend the latest amendments into the bill, but their motions were negatived by the majority.
Order 906 says, it shall be out of order to attempt to reconsider any specific question upon which the House has come to a conclusion during the current session, except upon a substantive motion for decision.
Now that we have passed the electronic transmission and we have accepted it, this is the most important referee in this election, because you are expected to transmit the results from the polling units.
We have forgotten that what Nigerians are asking for and what is important is legality of a transmitted result, whether fully transmitted or partially transmitted, or whether the transmission fails.
Not satisfied with the outcome of their motions, the aggrieved lawmakers from the opposition staged a walkout, but that action did not stop the consideration of the bill. Moments later, the opposition caucus reconvened at the National Assembly Media Center, where they addressed journalists, describing the development as a setback to electoral reform.
We have asked that clause should remain solely for electronic transmission without any provision. Aside that, we have also proposed that where there is a conflict between from EC8A, which is manual and capable of being manipulated, and the electronically transmitted result, that the electronically transmitted result should take precedence.
Meanwhile, the spokesman of the House, Akin Rotimi Jr., addressed the media on the amendment and need for proper understanding of Nigerians in delivering the dividends of democracy.
We will have left the work to just the Harmonization Committee if there were not other amendments that we sought to make, which required for us to rescind the passage of the bill which was passed in December. We had to rescind that and take new considerations.
Follow the uproar that happened in the House of Representatives concerning the Electoral Act Amendment Bill and lawmakers insisting the clause-by-clause taking of the bill to ensure that lawmakers are in line with the passage of the Electoral Amendments Bill. The House also subsequently adjourned the sitting to the 24th of February 2026 for all committees to conclude its budgetary presentation and defense across all MDAs. From the National Assembly, Aniti Patrick, reporting for Global TV News. In the past few weeks,
meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate has passed the Electoral Act 2022 Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026, resolving a major controversy over the electronic transmission of election results, a provision seen as critical for transparency in the 2027 general elections. Kike Lomo Okere has details.
The drama unfolded when Senator Enyinnaya Abaribe demanded a division on Clause 60, sparking intense debate among lawmakers. Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibri, argued that revisiting already settled provision would be out of order, but Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele clarified that his motion for rescission gave room for a proper review.
Any senator may challenge the opinion of the president by claiming a division. So I'm calling for a division.
The essence of a motion for rescission is that whatever was passed in the past remain in the past. And we are reopening the whole issue. So
in the division, 55 senators voted to retain the clause as the original drafted, while 15 opposed. Following the vote, the Senate rescinded the earlier passage and referred the bill to the Committee of the Whole for detailed reconsideration before final enactment.
Bill 2026 to regulate the conduct of federal, state, and area councils elections in the Federal Capital Territory and for other related matters 2026, third reading taken and passed.
The passage of the bill marked a crucial step in Nigeria's electoral reform process while ensuring that technical and logistical considerations are addressed ahead of the 2027 general elections. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
The federal government has approved an immediate 5 billion naira intervention fund to cushion the impact of devastating fire that gutted Singa Market in Kano State. The announcement comes 2 days after the inferno destroyed goods and properties estimated at over 5 billion naira, leaving hundreds of traders in distress. Global Television's correspondent Idris Jibri reports from Kano.
This is Singa Market in Kano, one of the busiest food and confectionery trading centers in the West African sub-region. Until a few days ago, traders from Chad, Niger, Burkina Faso, and other African countries regularly converged here for business, making the market a major hub for regional commerce. But late Sunday night, tragedy struck. A massive fire outbreak razed a large section of the market, destroying hundreds of shops, vehicles, and valuable goods. Local sources say the incident claimed the lives of at least 7 traders, while many others were left counting heavy losses.
We lost almost 10 billion naira yesterday. Cash, not goods. We calculate goods almost 20 million above.
Although the exact cause of the fire remains unclear, traders suspect an electrical fault, possibly during the late closing hours of business. This is not the first time Singa Market has experienced a fire disaster. However, traders describe this incident as one of the worst in recent years. Leaders of the Traders Union say efforts are ongoing to compile a detailed record of those affected, especially traders who lost their entire livelihoods.
More than 1,000 shops and stalls that got burned, and a lot of injuries, and even from the speculation that there is a loss of life. So because more than 7 people were inside when the fire started.
The federal government's 5 billion naira emergency intervention is expected to ease tension and provide urgent relief for traders struggling to recover.
Governors Forum, under the able and competent leadership of Governor Hope, Odigi Kauzodima has also pledged 3 billion naira support to the victims of the fire incident in Singa Market. Together, we have collectively contributed 8 billion naira to the victims of the fire disaster.
With less than 24 hours to the start of the Ramadan fast, prices of food items and other essential commodities are already beginning to rise. From Kano, Idris Jubrin, Global Television News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate has directed the National Emergency Management Agency to assess the extent of damage at the Singa market in Kano State and provide relief materials as well as financial support to affected traders. The incident was said to have destroyed goods that are worth over 20 billion naira and crippled over 1,000 businesses, mostly small and medium enterprises. Kike Lomo Okere again has details.
Speaking on the matter through a motion, the Deputy President of the Senate, Jibril Barau, described the incident as alarming, which according to him has left 7 people missing and plunged traders and their families into distress amid economic hardship. He noted that preliminary reports blamed the extent of the damage on faulty firefighting infrastructure, poor emergency response, and absence of modern safety system.
You know that Inferno reportedly destroyed goods and property valued over 20 billion naira. Over 20 billion naira. Affecting more than 1,000 businesses, predominantly small and medium-scale enterprises that serve as a backbone of the local economy.
Supporting the motion, lawmakers highlighted the importance of markets for regional commerce, employment and broader economic activities, noting that the extent of the damage coupled with lack of insurance support could increase unemployment, social instability, among others.
It's an international market which our surrounding countries, more especially Niger, Chad, Cameroon, up Central Africa, depend on that market on the provision of essential commodity. Mr. President, the situation is very pathetic.
To lend my voice to support that motion, that everything that needs to be done should be done. Thank you.
In response, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, commiserates with the victims of the unfortunate incident. He therefore called for urgent steps to prevent a repeat of the incident in the state and other parts of the country.
Through the National Emergency Management Agency, to urgently assess the extent of damage and provide immediate relief materials and financial assistance to affected traders, as well as intensify search and rescue operations in collaboration with security agencies for the recovery of those missing.
The Senate commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his intervention for the release of 3 billion naira for the victims of the unfortunate incident. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Nigerian smart tools, a fully digital economy, has received a boost as spouses of members of the House of Representatives undergo intensive digital literacy training in Abuja. The 2-day workshop, organized in partnership with the National Information Technology Development Agency, is aimed at equipping participants with relevant technology skills to function effectively in the fast-evolving digital world. Aniti Patrick has details.
Declaring the program open, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, who represented the Speaker, described women as strong pillars of support in governance. He urged the participants to maximize the opportunity to strengthen their capacity and expand their contributions to national development.
You are very strategic in making sure that the voting on this bill goes towards the right or goes towards the left. You are the powerhouses that will shape how the voting on that day will go.
Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, says the initiative aligns with the federal government's digital transformation agenda. He noted that empowering women and technology-driven skills will further accelerate social-economic growth.
I therefore encourage you to approach this program not merely as a training session, but as a strategic empowerment platform, one that strengthens your institutional voice, sharpens your leadership capacity, and enhances your ability to contribute meaningfully.
Convener of the workshop and wife of the Speaker, Fatima Abbas, encouraged the spouses to embrace digital knowledge as a critical tool for leadership, advocacy, and community development.
The digital transformation of our nation must be inclusive. It must ensure that women in leadership spaces are confident participants in the digital economy. This collaboration demonstrates foresight and commitment.
Director General of NIDA, Kashifu Inua, revealed that the agency is working towards achieving 95% digital literacy nationwide by the year 2030, adding that the program is part of broader efforts to build a digitally inclusive Nigeria.
This workshop and training is designed to achieve three things: to train you on leadership, because we are in a digital era. We need digital-driven leaders.
The workshop continues with practical sessions on leadership, well-being, and digital opportunities as participants position themselves for greater impact in a technology-driven society. From the National Assembly, Anieti Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
Muslims in Nigeria have joined their counterparts around the world to begin the Ramadan fast. These followed the announcement of the sighting of the crescent moon by the Saudi authorities. In this report, Global Television's correspondent Shehu Said takes a look at the significance of the Ramadan fast and what is expected of the fasting Muslims.
The Ramadan fast is the third pillar of Islam, ordained in the second year after Hijrah, the migration from Mecca to Medina. Fasting in Islam is the abstinence from eating and drinking from dawn to sunset during the month of Ramadan, the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, as contained in chapter 2, verse 183 to 185 of the glorious Quran. This act of worship and obedience to Allah comes with its conditions as enumerated by an Islamic scholar, Sheikh Yakubu Muhammad Kazim.
First and foremost, you must be a Muslim. Secondly, you must be of sound mind, which means if you have some element of insanity, you are not allowed to fast. So if you are sick, you are not allowed to fast. Like women now that are menstruating. If you are a menstruating woman, you are not allowed to fast.
What then is expected of the fasting Muslim?
What is expected of you is to study the Quran very well, forgive, forget.
Sheikh Yakubu Kazim also highlights the spiritual benefits of the Ramadan fast.
It is in this Ramadan that we have a night that is bigger than 1,000 nights. It is in this Ramadan that destiny is shaping.
Apart from spiritual benefits, what health benefits does the fasting Muslim derives? Dr. Nwala Chuks is a medical practitioner.
Fasting can prevent us from putting on so much weight. So as we are not putting on so much weight, some of these disease conditions like hypertension, like diabetes and all that, we are avoiding them indirectly.
With both benefits, spiritual and health, Muslims are expected to be more dedicated in acts of worship during the Ramadan to reap the blessings it comes with, as it is an opportunity that comes only once in a year. Shehu Said, reporting for Global Television News.
You're watching the live broadcast of Midday News. Midday News continues after these with the forecast plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello, welcome to the weather forecast for Wednesday. If you're in the northern and north-central region of the country, expect thick dust haze as the dry, dusty winds from the Sahara Desert continue to reduce horizontal visibility significantly. Motorists are advised to drive with caution, while airline operators should check the eFlight folder portal for latest weather updates. And if you're sensitive to dust particles, step out with a nose mask and please take necessary precaution. Down south, the inland areas of the south will see moderate dust haze, while residents of the southwestern states should watch out for morning thunderstorms as well as some thundery activities in parts of Kogi states. Progressing into the afternoon and evening hours of Wednesday, these storms will spread to include parts of Delta and Edo states. Stay with us for temperature forecast. I am Theodora Itum. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back from that short break. And in business news, the president and the chairman of the Dangote Limited, Aliko Dangote, has called on the federal government to urgently convene a national retreat to resolve Nigeria's persistent electricity crisis. He warned that widespread power outages could undermine the country's industrialization drive economic growth. Dangote made the appeal at the official launch of the National Industrial Policy 2025 in Abuja, themed From Policy to Productivity, Implementing Nigeria's Industrial Future. The policy emerged against the backdrop of a weak manufacturing sector, which, due to poor electricity supply, high production cost, limited access to finance, infrastructure deficit, and heavy reliance on imports, have been constrained. The African Development Bank, in partnership with the African Rice Center and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has officially launched the Multinational Rice Resilient Value Chains Development Program, African Rice, unveiled in Bouquet, Cote d'Ivoire. The 5-year, $8.5 million initiative targets rice self-sufficiency across the 14 West African nations. The program tackles chronic rice sector challenges, including low yields, post-harvest losses, and production covering just 60% of regional demand amid climate-induced losses of 16 to 29% over the past 15 years. With population growth and urbanization driving import resilience, Africa Rice promotes climate-resilient production, improve seed systems, advanced processing, and regional coordination to transform rice as a strategic commodity. And on the foreign scene, France and Algeria have agreed to start security cooperation during a visit to Algeria by the French Interior Minister, marking the first sign of a thaw in diplomatic ties after meeting with President. The minister said both sides have agreed to reactivate a high-level security cooperation mechanism. The visit took place against a backdrop of a thorny relationship between France and its former colony, since Paris in 2024 officially backed Moroccan sovereignty over the disputed Western Sahara region, where Algeria supports the pro-independence. And in sport, Victor Osimhen delivered a creative masterclass as Galatasaray stunned Juventus 5-2 in the 7-goal Champions League playoff first leg thriller. Although the Nigerian striker has now gone 2 consecutive matches without scoring, despite his team netting 10 goals across these fixtures, he remained central to Galatasaray's attacking dominance, providing 2 assists in each game. Again, Juventus, his intelligent pressing and unselfish play proved decisive on a dramatic night in Istanbul. Nigerian Super Falcons are set to face indomitable Lioness of Cameroon in 2 friendly matches as part of preparations ahead of 2026 World Women African Cup of Nations scheduled for Morocco. Both teams will clash in Yaoundé on February 28 and March 3rd. In a statement, Mohamed Sanusi, the Nigerian Football Federation General Secretary, noted that the federation was committed to ensuring proper preparations for the team. Football-related dispute made up the vast majority of cases registered with the Court in Sport in 2025, according to a post obtained on FIFA's X handle. The 4th edition of the report highlights that 77% of all cases at the court in 2025 involved football matters, underscoring the sport's dominance shared on the tribunal over caseload for the year. The publication provides a comprehensive overview of appeals lodged against FIFA decisions before court, as well as broader insights into how football is represented. And that's it on Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channels 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using our Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.